After 30 minutes of severe pain in her chest and abdomen, Rebecca Beebe decided it was time to rush to the hospital.
It was just getting worse and worse and worse.
But she says there's still a phantom wound, psychological scars she can still feel that don't stem from the illness or the treatment she received. It's what happened next.
So I'm getting dressed. Somebody, a billing person comes in and with her little cart and says, "Hi, your total is $850.
Barely clothed, faced with a big bill, and she says still high on morphine, Beebe says she was presented with an offer she should have refused.
She put down scrap papers on the bed in front of me and said, "Sign here."
The signature sealing a new life-altering reality. She says she was told it was a payment plan, but Beebe had actually signed up for a $2,000 line of credit.
When did you figure out that this was different than what you thought it was?
It was several months later. I got like 5 emails, like boom, 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 from my credit monitoring agencies.
Are these like notices of delinquent payments?
Yeah, so I had a couple of those. Regrettably, you have failed to honor the terms of your account agreement.
Expecting an invoice from the hospital and ignoring bills she thought was junk mail, her credit score took a 200-point plunge.
I was beyond angry. I had a credit card opened in my name without my consent and without my knowledge, and I didn't find out till I was being dinged for not paying the bill. I don't know how it's possible to sign someone up for credit when they're on drugs.
The hospital Beebe went to, Banner Health, didn't answer specific questions about her visit, but in a statement said in part, "We aim to remove financial barriers to care so that our patients can focus on what truly matters, their health and well-being." Adding it offers a range of personalized solutions, including a $10,000 interest-free line of credit. Credit cards for medical procedures are not new. For decades, they've been used to cover insurance gaps in mostly elective procedures. But over time, consumer advocates say they've infiltrated nearly every facet of the health system, including emergency rooms. It's another example of Americans using credit to pay for more and more basics.
Companies DoorDash and Klarna, a buy now, pay later option, have joined forces.
Rent now, pay later.
It's a new option for renters who are struggling to make the monthly payment.
Now there's a growing concern that medical credit card lending practices are predatory.
So there is incentive for hospitals to use these medical credit cards. They get paid up front. They don't have to chase patients for payment. The downside, if you're a patient, if there's a dispute with the bill, you're dealing with a third-party financial institution, not the hospital, and a lot of these cases are left unresolved.
Part of the reason these cards are so predatory is because people want to believe in their medical providers.
Attorney David Zhao represents several clients with similar plights, and nearly the same thing happened to him.
I went to the dentist. They told me that I needed to get this special procedure done.
He says his offer came when he was practically unable to talk.
So I signed the forms, and then a couple weeks later I got a credit card in the mail. And it was one of these deferred interest products where if I didn't pay it off really, really fast, I get that, 30+% interest rate. I just had to deplete my meager little savings in my bank account.
Zhao says the biggest pain point for many of his clients is the interest. Medical credit cards carry an average rate of nearly 27%. Zhao says he unknowingly signed up for a care credit card owned by Synchrony, the largest player in the space. Their card is accepted at over 250,000 locations like dentists and vets. But also, as of 2023, the company said in a letter to U.S. senators, over 300 hospitals.
Consumers appreciate our flexible financing options, and providers appreciate having another option for people to pay for care.
In February, Synchrony officials testified in Connecticut defending Care Credit.
80% of the people using Care Credit nationwide are paying zero interest.
But obviously those 20% of people that are paying the interest supports your business model.
Leading the inquiry, Connecticut State Representative Gary Turco.
It seems to me like modern day loan sharking. This is a product that's offered to people when they don't have other options to pay for sometimes very essential healthcare.
Turco co-sponsored a bill that would curb medical credit cards, banning providers from marketing them. It just passed in the state house and the Senate with bipartisan support and now awaits the governor's signature. Synchrony telling us in a statement it opposes Turco's legislation, saying in part, payment options are more essential than ever as health and wellness costs continue to go up and Americans feel the pinch. That pinch is something everyone seems to agree on.
As healthcare gets more expensive, people are going to look for alternatives, which means a lot of people will end up much worse in debt.
A new Gallup poll indicates a third of Americans say they've already cut back on daily living expenses in order to afford health care.
Hospitals should not be facilitating signing people up for credit cards.
Back in Arizona,
Why speak out?
They're preying on people in their most vulnerable moments.
Rebecca Beebe says her experience is prompting her to warn others.
I'm sure there's people who will walk out, signed up for a credit card, and it will destroy their credit and it will ruin their life.
A phantom pain people like Rebecca say they can no longer ignore.
And Steve joins us now. Steve, important reporting there. As this industry grows, it's not just Connecticut that's taking action here, right?
That's right. Yeah, just recently, states like Illinois, New York, California have enacted some form of reform when it comes to this. In fact, just a few weeks ago, California Attorney General Rob Bonta warned the public that these medical credit cards may not be as good a deal as they feel like it could be. The Attorney General, he encouraged consumers to not go rushing into signing up to cards specifically that offer these deferred interest rates, right? Especially when undergoing treatment. Instead, he says people should make sure they take the time to understand the card's agreement and in some cases even go to a lender or their local credit union. Aaron?
Steve Patterson, great reporting. Thanks so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.